My replacement heating element came in today. This is actually for a wide variety of Samsung dryers. I don't know what it is about Samsung, but I know some dude who had to replace it like 5 times. I don't know what it is about the heating element, but there's a couple things. I want to show you what's inside of the box, and then I want to talk about just a couple things. So let me do that first. So when you open up the box, you're gonna get these I should say these 5 different items. You got your main heating element right here, the star of the show, and then you've got a couple of these other ones. We can go over these in a little bit. When I'm talking about the heating element right off the bat, I want to say, now this is a demonstration model, so don't worry about me and where my fingers are going. But you don't want to be touching this area right here because your hand oils can mess up with that. So you're going to want to wear gloves when you do that. I see a lot of people, they do continuity tests to see, if this is good. So all you got to really do is make sure that it's going from that end to that end, right? Or else the electricity can't flow and this thing can't heat up. And then we got our 4 little bags. I went ahead and labeled them. Well, I guess I'll label that in a second. But I'm going to start off by saying that if you think that if you're having a hard time, like your dryer just poops out on you and you want to just replace this thing, if you replace just this one and you forget about these little bags, you say, well, I don't know what these guys do. Well, you're going to have a problem because most likely, if this isn't working, remember, this is just one out of several components. I don't have a bad one right now, but when they get bad, they get all charred looking, and it's going to look kind of like black in parts, and you're going to be able to tell, on either end, probably both ends if I was to guess. And how they get that way could be a whole slew of different reasons. But if you don't replace the other parts in the kit like you're given, then you're going to have a potential problem in this thing burning out again real fast because there's going to be no safety guard from letting it overheat. You're not going to, like if your thermostats are broken. So whenever you get this, go ahead and use every single one of these. Install them from scratch. You don't need to worry about keeping your old parts. And if you don't know what these things are, then just go look it up. And a little more closely, this is the thermistor. And if this thing blows out, this is, you're not going to get any heat. So this is like a mechanical kind of device. What I mean by that is that inside of there, well, thermistor, right? It responds to temperature. So as it gets beyond a certain range, you could damage it. And if you don't end up having this one working, then what you could end up with is you don't have any heat whatsoever, or it's going to shut off a little earlier than it should. This is the one that I didn't have labeled before, but this is the fuse, the thermal fuse. And if you look on there, you can see 320, and what that's talking about is at 320 degrees Fahrenheit, this thing's going to initiate, just like any kind of other fuse that you see, it's going to disconnect. This is directly going to be interacting with the heating element. So if this thing ends up engaging and your heating element gets too hot, then this is going to fire up. I guess what I should have said is that this is acting kind of like a bridge between the heating element and then the source of power. So if this thing disconnects because it goes beyond that, it's like a fail-safe switch so that that coil doesn't get up to something insane like 1,000 degrees or however hot it could physically get to. This one right here is another fuse. This one actually goes on the heater housing, and as you can see, that one only has a tolerance of 185 Fahrenheit, so it's a little more fussy, but that makes sense because the other one, the coil can get a lot hotter before it can cause problems, and this is going to be the heat more or less surrounding that area, so that's kind of the cutoff. But if this thing's blown, then these are one-time uses. You can't just reset them. So if this is gone, then obviously you're still not going to get heat. And unlike the fuses, we've got our thermostat right here. This is just keeping track of the overall temperature, and there's a switch in there that turn signals to either be on or off. So if this thing's damaged, then all bets are off. I mean, the temperature can just go haywire on you. So I'm not going to do an installation for this video. I see there's a lot of people who show you, and they're very good. You can see how you open up the machine, how to do that. It's pretty, it's a fairly elaborate process if you haven't done it before. But hopefully, when you get that packet, you use all those pieces, because that's the number one takeaway from this. You want to make sure that you don't just assume the heating element's bad and therefore I'll just replace the heating element and then it'd be fine, because you don't want to do that. You have all these pieces in the box for a reason. You're going to want to use them. So I hope that's informative for you. And I want to thank the company for giving this to me as a display so I could go ahead and review it for you. And that's all I got.